So, Henry, thank you for joining the show. It'd be great if you can just introduce yourself. Briefly describe your AI company, and what's your role in the business.
Sure. Maybe I should use my screen to background to show that I'm the CEO of Anytime AI, and we are enterprise co-pilot for legal professionals who do need to analyze a lot of documents every day and also deal with tons of paperwork. And we help them accelerate analyzing the documents, accelerating the answers, and automate workflow in their daily work, whether it's litigation, personal injury, case handling, analyzing tons of medical files, and generating demand letters or generating response to discovery requests, and so on. So yeah, this is what we do, and we like to call ourselves AI private counsel for your legal team. And
Okay.
we love to leverage the power of AI to take our lawyer friends and clients' business and their law practice to the next level.
Okay. Thank you so much for the explanation. So it'd be great if you could give a brief overview of your career journey, actually, because I think it's very rare that you have someone who is a CFO for so many years take the step into a new department, or very rare that you have a CEO that then becomes a CFO and so on and so forth. So it'd be great to hear from you how you evolved from that CFO role to then strategy VP and now the chief operating officer of a large company. How did that come about?
Okay, thank you. Great question. So, looking back at my 25 plus years of experience, I have evolved and adapted in every step of my career progression. And I started in the US as a graduate student in Stanford University. After graduation, I joined the Ford Motor Company in Michigan, started in as a uh, industrial engineer in Romeo engine plant, basically that makes the V8 engines. And then from that, I migrate into cost analysis and the finance analysis. And then I um, was with a consultant, a senior consultant with A.T. Kearney automotive practice for a period of time. And that was about 3 years. And then we settled down in the East Coast. I got married with my wife, and I launched a new career at IBM. And I started at finance, IBM Finance, because I had a lot of finance analytical skills from the Ford job, plus the strategic thinking from the consulting job. And I progressed in the finance career at IBM, and to the point that I became the CFO of IBM Systems Strategic Initiative business. And I managed business of $4 billion of cloud and data analytics at the time. In fact, our business team for that cloud and data analytics business of IBM Systems tripled the revenue from 1.4 to $4.2 billion, 1.4 to $4.2 billion over 3 years. And
Wow.
our finance operation team actually supported to make it happen through transformation of processes and the IT and the financial analytics to support that and enable that and all that. And I was very proud to be the CFO for that business. Um, and and then there was an opportunity knocking on the door, and I actually joined 1010 Data, joined my former Columbia EMBA classmate to help turn around the 1010 Data performance. By the way, 1010 Data was a mid-size company in data analytics, private equity owned, and working with the rest of the executive leadership team, we turned around the 1010 data performance in 2 years, and eventually we supported that was eventually sold to Symphony AI for a strategic exit. And afterwards, um, my IBM good friend and actually mentee, long-time mentee at the time, and Ling Fei Wu, my good friend, asked me to work with him to launch the AI startup together with him, which is Anytime AI. And we decided to focus on the legal domain. And he saw my uh, career progression experience in all kinds of things. So he asked me to be the COO, basically handling all the company internal operations. Not only that, but also lead the go-to market effort in doing some of the sales, business development, even marketing area. Well, that was a little bit out of my comfort zone.
I can imagine. Yeah, for sure.
But I was very happy to learn and grow and challenge myself to do things I have never done before. So it's a long story, but hopefully that wrap up my answer for your question
Yeah,
about my option.
it's an interesting one because you was such an integral part of all of these companies' growth, from IBM and the cloud data, all of the businesses that you managed. And yet, I think it's such an overlooked part of growing as a person and growing in business where you reach almost the top of your game, and some people like to stay there, or you have that choice to do exactly what you're doing, take a new challenge, learn something new, and take that challenge exactly on the chin how you should be doing it, you know. And no doubt for sure we'll see Anytime AI on Bloomberg very soon, launching their IPO, you know.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a little bit different than other finance professionals who like to stay in their swimming lane and maybe
Mm,
specialize and focus and become a deeper expert in particular subject. Um, I think that um, expanding out of my traditional finance role to learn the business, get into the front line, to lead operations, to drive the go-to market personally, it's a very rewarding growth experience and it allowed me to see different sceneries in the travel and really understand the markets, competitors, and clients in the front line. And that is experience that no other finance people will have, will be able to truly um, relate to
mm.
unless you are in the front line. So yeah, I would highly recommend other finance professionals to get closer to the front line.
Mm. It's such a key takeaway because I think a lot of people do see a lot of finance leaders not so much being on the front foot, you know, leading sales teams, leading marketing teams, and it's only going to enhance what you know about the business, how you communicate with people, and taking these extra challenges. That kind of brings me on to the next question. Actually, you know, you've got over 20 years of experience in finance, and I'd like to personally know, and I'm sure the viewers will as well, know from you how the role of a finance leader has changed over the past 10 years. We've seen an evolution in technology and all different things. So, you know, how do you see the role of a CFO specifically changing for this year and beyond?
I think the finance leader role has greatly expanded over the last decade or so. And in fact, to be an effective CFO and finance leader, you need to understand a lot about the markets, the external world. And you need to not only have the internal expertise, but also learn the company actually from the external in perspective,
Mm,
external outside in perspective, and try to understand what the competitors are doing, what the customers are really asking for, and what are the trends of the market. Because that way you can more effectively have a dialogue with your CEO and advise your CEO in the proper way. If you constrain yourself to the internal role only and satisfy yourself to be finance and planning analysis provider, that might be good for a period of time, but then you really cannot strategically guide your company uh, in a quantitative way using your financial skills.
mm,
Everything becomes a reactive to response to CEO's requests or answers. And I've learned that in my career to be a truly effective partner for the finance partner for your CEO or general manager, you need to think in his or her shoes as well.
mm,
And that means you need to adopt the external view, the market view, the understanding the competitors and understanding the technology trends, and maybe you can rely on other people to advise you on that, but you need to be an internal synthesizer of all those informations, integrator of those insights, and then you be able to advise and help your CEO and business in a much more effective way
mm,
because because nobody else in the company can perform that integrator role. Okay. CEO tend to have more of a customer perspective and market and maybe technology perspective, but you also have finance skills.
mm,
You also have analytical power and the planning expertise. And once you integrate that together, that make you become um, invaluable and essential partner for your CEO.
mm. It does seem like a lot of it comes down to being an effective communicator with the CEO and the managing partners, because, like you said, a lot of finance leaders, a lot of CFOs can often lead a little bit from the back, and it sounds like it's advisable to be a lot more streamlined with the company vision, and also communicate as best you can with the CEOs where possible. And no doubt, I think AI is going to, especially from someone in your position and the company with Anytime AI, of course, that AI is going to play a big, big impact in, you know, all of our lives and also as a CFO. So just the follow-up question to that, Henry, would be how can a novice make their first steps into AI? And I think why that's an important question is because we see many finance leaders adapt to, you know, it could be computers to new technology now from COVID, from Zoom meetings. And I think it's one of those things you either adapt or you adapt a little bit too late. And I'd like to hear from you, how can a novice make their first steps into advancing technology and getting their first steps into AI?
Yeah, sure. So you really cannot learn to swim by watching other people swimming or watching swimming videos.
That's very true.
The, the only way to become versed user of AI is by starting to use it.
I'll have to delete
And you
all of my Michael Phelps videos now. Thanks, Henry.
yeah. That's right. So start with some of the free AI tools on the market, whether it's ChatGPT free version or Perplexity AI, actually the free version as well. For people who don't know about Perplexity, I think it has the potential to overtake Google. Yeah, and the but in the search engine field, basically what it does is it aggregate all the search results across internet, and not in Google results you search individual search items or search results anymore. It aggregate all the answers for you, and then in the organize for you in the answers, you will see specific links and sources for the most relevant answers or most relevant evidence, and you click and you can jump to that source. And this is my favorite search engine of the internet now, and also it's highly recommended by Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, and then for the ChatGPT, you can use it to compose freestyle things and ask you to book plan a travel itinerary for you, give you receipts, give you a recipe, and so on. But if you want to use it for very serious work, professional work, you need to pay attention to a couple of things. And number one, don't enter any client confidential information or company specific confidential information into it, because ChatGPT, especially the free version, it
Mm.
actually collects your data and stores your data, and it will share with I believe that based on what I read, will share with the OpenAI, basically the mother engine,
Mm.
uh, and actually use it all your information to train its AI engine. So what your input accidentally becomes its own data. Okay,
Right.
the open AI. Secondly, is make sure you check sources for the things that it generates, because ChatGPT is very famous for AI hallucination risk or problems, and it would generate make up stuff, make up stuff that never existed in the world before. And I can get into this thing more later, but there were lawyers in New York actually searched for prior cases in some aviation related to a case he was working on.
Right.
And then he asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT actually made up 5 cases, fake cases for him. And
Oh,
he
wow. Right. Okay.
he did not know, he did not check, and he submitted to the court. And the judges said, that doesn't look right. These cases don't look right. And then they chased it down and found all these cases were fake.
Right.
And and the lawyer said, I'm sorry, but I didn't know. I thought it was ChatGPT was just a good search engine and the latest search engine. And AI told me it's true. It's right. And the judge basically said that, hey, you are accountable for what you submitted to me.
Mm.
AI is not accountable to me. You are, and you are sanctioned because you did not check AI's work.
Wow. Right. I see. It's amazing knowledge because there's some things that just may go over our head in our day to day, right? I think many people use ChatGPT, but like anything, if you Google something or use Wikipedia, just double check, fact check it, make sure it's correct. So it's good for generating ideas, but maybe not use it in I wouldn't say real world cases, but maybe very, very important documents. Always fact check and double check would be your advice.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, in a Columbia alumni talk last night, there was an alum said that, hey, ChatGPT can do medical analysis as well. I said, sure, it may appear that it can do medical analysis, but use that analysis with discretion
Mm.
just to educate you. If you are going to make major healthcare decisions of that result, please double check with a licensed doctor, medical doctor.
just to double check that it's actually correct before you go and check
Yeah,
it
you
and
may
yeah.
aggregate a lot of good information for you, and it's good education for sure. For sure, it will help you become a very educated consumer or prosumer. But if you are going to make serious legal or medical information, medical decision out of that, you better double check with a licensed either attorney or medical doctor.
As like an extra fact check. Obviously, just in your conversation there, you did touch on it a little bit, but um, how can a finance leader use AI to their advantage? So obviously, what would be some of the real world use cases in a finance leader's day to day? Obviously, you've just given a couple of examples there. Could you give us a few more examples and elaborate on that a
Yeah,
little bit?
sure. Sure. So the Perplexity.ai and the ChatGPT are the latest examples of generative AI. Generative AI is the latest development in the whole AI discipline.
Right.
Basically, it's a more advanced version of machine learning and the deep learning, and from the deep learning evolved the large language model, and the large language model acts more like neural networks that basically learn patterns from tons, piles, billions of data bits and contents on internet and everywhere that it can get hands on. And then it generates text, content, video, sound, images of that. That's why generative AI. And ChatGPT, GPT really stands for generative pre-trained transformers. Basically transform all the knowledge it learned into the nuggets specific to you, to your inquiries.
Right.
Okay, that is very useful for generating what is it called? Uh, Text-based answers for you. And for that, the use case for finance professionals, the use case may be look at tons of earning reports over the last 3, 4 years,
Hmm.
or even just look at this particular years or the various data and summarize some insights from that and summarize patterns and ask it specific questions to to summarize the performance trend, to generate management discussions in the annual reports, and to write um, a summary for upper management, basically distilling the key nuggets from the performance, perform the various trends and so on. And you can also use that to integrate the external market research and say, well, this is what competitor are doing, and contrast what the company's performance, internal performance, and generate some conclusion or recommendation. That's on a text generation basis.
Right.
Okay, that utilizing generative AI. On the other side, there have been there have been good development on the another discipline of AI called predictive AI.
Right.
That is more useful for finance professionals' day-to-day work in doing finance planning and analysis on the historical data, the numbers. If you want to predict trends for sales next quarter, next few quarter, year trends based on historical data, and integrating some of the market influence data, you can feed all that into predictive model and adjust multiple variables to help you predict a trend in upper and downward curve, um, to project towards the future. That is predictive AI
Right.
to help you, yeah, predict numbers. So for finance professionals, you can use these two in combination, and leveraging the power of both predictive AI as well as generative AI.
If you could tell us a little bit about the risks of not using AI now and then waiting. And I think just to add on to that, it's like I like to give the example of someone like my mum, right? You know, was never brilliant at technology, was always against it until it got to the point a few years ago where she had to adapt because the world was changing around her, you know? So
Yep.
what would be the risks of not using AI now and then waiting?
So I have to understand that risk, I have to look back history. So over the past like 20 years, all the typist, the dedicated typist jobs basically virtually disappeared from the earth. Okay. Because all the typewriters they use have been absorbed or replaced by computers. So all the pure typist serving the office, doing the office work, either they went out of job or they learn adapt new skills to become the secretary who can use computers to do word processing, to
Mm.
do other office chores and tasks to support their principals. So either you evolve or basically went out of the job. Essentially, that's what happened to both the typewriters and the typists over the last 20 years.
Right.
Now, looking back over the another trend, which is incredibly shrinking time of technology adoption. Okay. Um, Electricity took 50 years to be adopted by 25% of the US population. Telephone take probably 35, radio 30, television 25, PC maybe 15, mobile phone 10-ish, and internet probably take 7 years. And smartphone took about maybe 5 years to be adopted by 25% of the US population.
Right.
Now, generative AI, ChatGPT came out in 5 days. 5 days, it was adopted by 1 million users. Now it's more than several hundred million
Mm.
around the world. I cannot count anymore. It's because it's growing too fast, and any of the statistics become irrelevant tomorrow. So I think that generative AI has the potential to replace just the existing PC and existing a lot of computing technology over the next 10 years, and it will become pervasive all around us, not only in a dedicated PC, but in the phone, in maybe AI ping or our glasses,
Mm.
and so on. It's all integrated into our wearables, and it's going to be pervasive everywhere. And in this society, you either adapt, or you get left behind.
Mm.
And I ask my lawyer friends that if you keep waiting, you should not just consider the risk of using AI. I know that lawyers are the best risk managers I have known in my entire 25 plus years career.
Mm.
But now is the time to think about not just how to manage the risk of using AI, but to think about the risk of not adopting AI, because you face the choice of either disrupt others or be disrupted.
Mm.
Be disrupted. Think about some of our clients. Okay, on March 13th, law.com webinar, and my CEO and myself, as well as a litigation firm attorney client of us, both went on the show. And the um, uh, the partner of that attorney firm basically said that, hey, after using our AI, they are basically on pace to quadruple, 4x their case handling capacity this year. Originally, they were handling between 40 to 50 personal injury case per year. And now they are handling 16, 17 cases per month, and you times 12, it's more than 200.
Right.
It's around 200.
Mm.
So they are also delivering the cases much faster, reducing 90% of their staff's manual effort. And also, they can deliver more and handle more with the same level of resources and get to the conclusion of the case and deliver the results and get the payment or compensation much faster
Mm.
than before. And their staff can also go home earlier
Which is an added
without overwork.
bonus. Yeah.
So, so win-win for everyone.
Right.
So when other lawyers, other law firms not using AI have to compete with a company like this, with law firms like this, how can you compete?
Mm.
Because they can charge lower, they can do things much faster, and deliver with better quality and get the result, the payment and cash flow earlier, faster.
Mm.
So you truly face a question of disrupt others or be disrupted by your AI using competitors. So I say that to my lawyer friends, don't fear AI. Okay, AI is not going to take over your job. It's not
Mm.
going to replace lawyers because the society, the court, the judges look at you lawyers to be accountable for the result, for what you deliver.
Right.
They are not going to look at AI, some tools, some platform to deliver something to be accountable for the legal results.
Of course.
Only human are, only you are. So don't fear AI will take over your job, but do fear other attorneys who can use AI. They will someday they will come to replace your job.
Mm.
And that's what you need to fear about.
Well, I think that's one of the connotations, one of the stigmas related to AI. You know, a lot of people thinking it's going to replace your job, and then a lot of people maybe not paying too much attention to it. But from what you've said, and to summarize, it's those that get in early will be rewarded, and those that don't will be a few years behind,
Yeah,
essentially. You know. Um, what would be great is just to have a really quick fire round from you,
yeah,
Henry.
sure,
If
sure.
you could just, you know, for the viewers, share one internet resource that you think would increase productivity and keep up to date with current events. Is there any tools that you use, like a good internet resource that you can recommend?
Sure. My favorite tool I already said is perplexity.ai for
Right.
the general internet research and summarization. ChatGPT is good for free text generation, for some fun and creativity. And if you want to use um, any internet sources of actually tools for serious work, and particularly legal work, please consider anytime.ai because it's very secure. We encrypted 256-bit end to end, and all your information belongs to you only. We don't share anything, and we solve the AI hallucination problem. All our answers are generated off the documents clients provide. Okay. And we provide precision citation into the source document so that you can find needles in haystacks very quickly. And we highlight those needles for you so you can go into the haystack and pick them up, those needles, very quickly. And we actually just released the generation 3 of our AI platform to support lawyers in doing legal research. It generates a legal research memo for you in 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes.
Wow.
Give you the memo in IRAC structure, the issues, the rules, the application, and the conclusion. Basically, how lawyers are trained in writing in law schools. And then we give you all the citations and sources to look into relevant laws and regulations across various jurisdictions and so on. So highly recommend for serious legal professional to try.
Okay, perfect. So to recap, Perplexity, ChatGPT, and most importantly, Anytime AI.
Thank you so much.
And just very quickly, what is the best piece of business advice that you've ever received that you can share?
I would say that it came from my prior IBM CEO, Ginny Rometty. And she said that growth and growth and comfort do not coexist. Growth and comfort do not coexist. So if you want to grow, you must constantly break through your comfort zone and push beyond the existing comfortable skills, experiences that you had or used to have. That is how you grow. If you want to stay comfortable, just staying in your swimming lane and doing the things that you are used to over the last 10, 15 years, but you never grow. So therefore, comfort and growth do not coexist. And I took that to heart. And all the steps of my career progression reflect that principle.
And it's just like we spoke about earlier, right? Moving from, if you're there in finance for 20 years or doing something, doesn't matter what age you are, what position you're in, there's always room to grow and try new things, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
And very lastly, Henry, what is one parting piece of advice that you would give to future CFOs and business leaders?
Along all the things I've said over the last 45 minutes, push through your comfort zone. Take some risks. Any of the risks you are taking is worthwhile for yourself and for your company. When you retire or when you rest on your retirement bed many years in the future, looking back, you will regret the things that you did not do. You will regret the risks that you had not taken. You will not regret the things that you have done or regret the little risks that you may have taken, because any the any of the risks that you take, the actual step you take in your career journey in for yourself and for your company will take you to new destinations, new height of your business and your own profession that you never imagined before. Open up your horizon and open up your perspectives. And right now is a good time to take that risk because we are ushered in an AI era. And AI is going to drive the next industrial revolution. It's going to propel the next productivity transformation, just like electricity, just like the prior steam engine, just like the printing press did many years ago. So right now is a good time to take a risk adopting AI, using AI to transform your own business and transform your own career. You might want to start small, but once you see the results, scale up and scale broadly, that will help transform your life too.
Perfect.
That's my final advice.
Perfect. Henry, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And just for the viewers, actually, where can people find a little bit more about Anytime AI? Maybe reach out to yourself. What's the best way to communicate with you?
Sure. So people can find me on LinkedIn, Henry M. Hu, Hu is my last name, and middle name is M. And also can send me an email at HU at anytime-ai.com.
Perfect. Henry, thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.